What's up, boys? Welcome back to another video. Today, another week of the college basketball rankings. Big week. Let's get right into it. No need to talk much more. A lot of teams falling in to the rankings and a lot of teams falling out. So let's get right into it. Starting with number 25, the Louisville Cardinals. Now, I had them at 25 last week, and I easily could have moved them out after that a disgusting loss to Miami. But I left them in, able to beat Duke, although it was closer than it should have been. But I really wanted to put Winthrop here. I think they do deserve it. But with that schedule, I don't think they'd ever move out. And I don't think they're a top 25 team, obviously. But they probably do deserve it. So, anyways, 25 for Louisville. 24 is the UCLA Bruins, moving down a little bit after their loss to Stanford. It was a close game, so I didn't move them down as much as I should have. Probably going to be moved out of the rankings in the AP poll, but 24 for me this week. Number 23 is Boise State. Boise State is looking good. Currently, with only one loss, I believe they're doing pretty well this season. And they have a kind of quality win over a UNC team that's kind of consistently makes the NCAA tournament occasionally, so I gotta give them credit for it. I'm putting it 23. Number 22 is Oregon, another Pac-12 squad coming off a disappointing loss. This is even more disappointing than UCLA. They lost to Oregon State, their in-state rival. So good for Oregon State, but Oregon State got to move down after that one. Number 21, moving into the rankings for me, is the Ohio State Buckeyes in a loaded Big Ten conference. They're definitely top 5 in the conference. There's no doubt about it. The teams look pretty good all season. Had a little rough patch in a couple of weeks back, but they're able to move their way back in after a couple of big W's. Number 20 is the Virginia Tech Hokies, moving down after the kind of disgusting loss over Syracuse. I definitely did not expect that one. Syracuse is not a bad team, don't get me wrong. I could have even put them in the rankings, but I was like, no. But Virginia Tech definitely had to be moved down after that massive loss. Number 19, the Illinois Fighting Illini, still has 5 losses on the season, which is like, what are they, 10-5, 11-5, which is kind of like ridiculous to you rank for that record. But you know this team is talented. They are in an absolutely loaded Big Ten conference, so I had to give them some credit, and they haven't lost in the past week, so they're going to move up one spot. Number 18 is St. Louis. Speaking of teams who did not suffer a loss, St. Louis, so they move up, I believe, one as well, just because teams above them have lost. Number 17 is Alabama. My goodness, can Alabama not be good at some sport? I mean, please. Alabama's looked absolutely fantastic as of late. They started off the season pretty weak, but I think they're undefeated in conference, and it's been absolutely balling on every team they've played. Although they are in a relatively weak SEC conference this year, I mean, they've been showing that they are possibly the best team in that conference right now. Number 17 for Alabama. Number 16 is the Creighton Blue Jays. This team, they've suffered some bad losses, man. In the Big East Conference, which is in no way a bad conference, but it's kind of top-heavy outside of Villanova and Creighton themselves, and maybe Xavier. I don't think UConn was a ranked team, so I don't include them. But besides those teams, it's not a very strong conference at all. So I really think they should have pulled out wins at least Providence. So I had to move them down pretty unfavorably, I should say, in this week's rankings. Number 15 is the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Another team that's in a pretty good conference in the Big 12 Conference, probably performing the second best of any conference this year right now. Texas Tech, obviously, probably one of my favorite coaches in the entire NCAA, outside of Roy Williams, obviously. Chris Beard, he's done an absolutely fantastic job with that program. Matt McClung has been outperforming what people expected him to. So, yeah, number 15 for Texas Tech. 14 is Missouri, coming off 2 straight wins this week, moving up in the rankings. They've one of those teams I did not expect to do anything this year, to be quite honest, but they've had a chip in their shoulder, and they've been performing very well thus far. Number 13 is the Wisconsin Badgers. Not a big loss, but disappointing loss for them this week, causing them to move down in the rankings. Yes, another one of those teams in that loaded Big Ten conference. Ranked very high early in the season, but we know they weren't the top 5 team in the country. But 13, I think, is a fair place for them this week. Number 12 is Kansas. Kansas has 3 straight losses, all being conference losses. So Kansas really has been struggling in the past couple of weeks. Although the Big 12 is kind of loaded, they gotta win some of them. They're supposed to be the quote-unquote best team in the conference. Right now, that's looking more and more. One of the best teams in the conference, I should say. More and more, it's Baylor, Texas, maybe even Texas Tech, all looking better than Kansas right now. So yeah, number 12, Kansas is not looking too good right now. Number 11, Florida State. I literally cannot fathom how the AP right now does not have Florida State in the rankings. That literally makes no sense. This team is fantastic. In my opinion, they probably are the best team in the ACC, although there is one team ranked higher than them. As of right now, I think this team's been underrated all year. Still only have, 2 losses? And they've been undermanned quite a bit this year. I definitely think they deserve this 11th spot. With big wins over Clemson that just happened. That's absolutely massive for them. Number 10, West Virginia, the Mountaineers. Probably one of the best, definitely not the best, but one of the best front courts in all of college basketball. Another one of those teams in the Big 12 that's doing pretty well this season. Although I'm not as high as them as I once was. I don't see this team being too much in the NCAA tournament. Maybe Sweet 16. But outside of that, I'm not really sure. But right now, they're number 10 in the country. Number 9 is the Tennessee Volunteers, coming off their two unfortunate losses. They have not been looking good this week. I would have moved it down even more if teams below them would have won a little bit more, but that just didn't happen. So I have to move them down. Right now, they're not playing the number 19 in the country, but since they were ranked 5th or 4th, I had them last week. I had to move them down to 9 this week. Number 8 is the Virginia Cavaliers. Like I was just saying, I don't think this is the best team in the ACC, but I do think they are playing like the highest ranked team, and I think they do deserve to be the highest ranked. Although they're not the best because, they've only have 2 losses. San Francisco, which is a early in the year game, which I don't, you definitely shouldn't have lost it, but I can understand. And it's been a while. They definitely left that in the past. And then obviously Gonzaga, who is the best team in the country, they lost too. So they've been playing well in conference play so far, undefeated. They've been playing really good. So number 8 for Virginia. Number 7 is Iowa, coming off another their 3rd loss of the season, so moving down from 4 to 7 this week. Number 6, moving up yet again, is the Michigan Wolverines. Another one of those teams in the Big Ten. I didn't expect to be good, but they are definitely playing like the 1st or 2nd best team in the conference right now. Absolutely fantastic. The coaching has just been insane. Hunter Dickinson is playing like a monster. So good play from Michigan right now. Number 5 is the Texas Longhorns, who I moved down, I believe, 1 spot, if I'm not mistaken. 1 spot. They did have lost, but I'm not going to punish them too much for that. Very close game. So number 5 for the Texas Longhorns. Number 4 is Houston. Top 4 for Houston. Probably like the first time since they had Akeem Olajuwon on the team that they've been in the top 4. I wouldn't doubt that's true. But played really good. Quentin Grimes playing very, very well. And in pretty honestly a weak conference. I expect them not to stay necessarily at 4, because if they take a loss, they're probably going to move down quite a bit. But maintain a top 10 spot throughout the year. Number 3 is Villanova, by far the best team in the Big East. Only lost that 1 game to Virginia Tech on the season. They've been playing very good basketball. And of course, the top 2 teams, without debate, Baylor at number 2 and number 1, the Gonzaga Bulldogs. Still undefeated for both those teams. Gonzaga just playing absolutely fantastic. Baylor had a close one. Baylor had a really, really close one against Oklahoma State. But able to pull it out in the past, in the last 10 or so minutes of the game, just keep extending their lead. But Gonzaga, I think, is definitely the most dominant team. They've been playing like it all year. Had a very tough out-of-conference schedule, so they proved they can beat really good teams, not just in their conference. So guys, that's me for today's video. Please like, subscribe, and comment, turn on post notifications, and share this. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.